Looking back at the last 28 years of my life, there are a few things that I wish I would have done earlier. It's not that I never got around to doing these things, it's just that I did them at a later age in my life where I had more responsibilities. Hi everyone, my name is Sanjana and I talk all things money, career, and lifestyle habits. In this video, I want to share with you some of my personal insights which perhaps might motivate you or inspire you to bring them in on your personal journey as well. As a big sister, just take my learnings and implement them in your own life. Just do it a little bit earlier than I did. So let's get started. Number 1, relocate or move out of home. Moving away from your current environment, your current routine, the day-to-day activities can really give you a new lease on life, especially if you're stuck in a rut, maybe when it comes to your work, relationships, or your physical and mental health. It's no secret that changing your environment allows you to think differently. Being in a state of calm and unbiased, you're able to make decisions on issues that were previously a problem, but now you're able to think outside the box and come to a solution. I personally moved out of home when I was 25 years old. For many, that might seem like I'm really old, but for others that may be too young to move out and make decisions on your life. However, if you think about it, it's really up to the person themselves whether they think they are fully equipped to be moving out of home and are able to make that decision and think about whether it's going to be a positive one or whether it's going to cause them more harm than good. It is not the decision of your parents, your friends, your siblings. It's really up to you. Now, moving out of home isn't as easy as everyone makes it out to be. There are a few checklist items which I think can help you in making the decision of whether you want to move out or not. One, being emotionally and mentally ready. Leaving your friends and family behind can be an overwhelming decision, so it's crucial that you overcome this in ensuring that you're able to sustain your move and your relocation. 2, financially. This really depends on a case-by-case scenario, but typically having about 3 to 4 months worth of living expenses to cover for new furniture, your rent, utilities, groceries, and a rainy day is something to consider strongly. I've created another video on my channel in the past of when I moved out of home, talking about everything you need to know, so I'll make sure to leave that down below for you guys to check out. 3, physically. It's a big change knowing that you need to now take care of yourself without having your mum or dad around. So things like cooking for yourself, doing the groceries, cleaning up around you. These responsibilities all add up and do require an adequate amount of attention. Otherwise, they won't be done. So instead of moving out at the age of 25 like I did, I wish I had moved out at 22. So this would mean that I would have 3 years of work experience under my belt. I would have saved up enough money, have the confidence and the ability to manage living on my own. In my earlier years, I was trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do, whether I wanted to stick to the corporate world or do something on my own. And having my own personal environment and space, something that I can personally call home, and a safe space for my creativity, I think would definitely have helped in figuring out my career, but better late than never. If this is something you guys are considering, think it through thoroughly and then definitely consider making the step because it's the best decision that I've made of my life. 2, experience travel or move overseas. Many people don't know this, but in the year 2019, I had actually bought a one-way ticket to England to live in London, to work abroad, to live the nomad life, and of course to travel as well. However, due to the pandemic, this idea was canned. I was venturing out at the age of 25, which to be honest isn't actually that old. However, the issue was I hadn't actually traveled much prior to that. I only managed to do Europe last year, which I'm super grateful for, but if I had done this earlier in my 20s, I would have formed opinions and insights into different customs, traditions, knowledge and experiences from cultures from all around the world. When you're younger, you've got less responsibilities. You don't need to worry about finances, your career, or taking care of dependents. You're willing to travel on a budget, you're willing to forego the comfort, and you're willing to go out of your way to make friends with people from across the globe, which if you ask me are all experiences that one must have, especially at a young age. Whereas if you're older, you're set in your ways, you value comfort more, and you've got smaller friend circles, there are less people that you can handle, that you can talk to, and traveling just costs more because of these values. It's just a different type of traveling experience all alone. Whichever way you see it, I think traveling at a younger age is a totally different ball game and is an experience that I wish I had done when I was younger. 3, start the YouTube channel earlier. I had been watching YouTube since 2010, watching fashion and lifestyle YouTubers in my spare time. The idea of starting a YouTube channel did cross my mind. However, due to my limiting thoughts and beliefs, I felt that I needed the right equipment and I needed to have the right space to be able to film and shoot. Now let's just think about what I just said. To have the right equipment. Back then, people were shooting videos on their mobile phones, and I definitely had one, so I could have done it. In terms of space, location, I was sharing a bedroom with my brother. It's not like I didn't have a room, so I could have actually made it work. However, I made excuses and that delayed me by 10 years or so. Investing in your passions as they come in your life is super important. Your passions become your outlet in your life. They give you something to do, something to work towards, and something that you can call your own. As much as I beat myself up about it, if I had started a YouTube channel back then, would my content still have been fashion and lifestyle? I guess we'd never know. So if you've got that itch that you're wanting to scratch, then definitely go for it. Give it a real hard go, otherwise you'll never know the alternative. And what's there to lose? Number 4, invest in myself and my finances earlier. Growing up, I was a very sporty kid. I enjoyed playing cricket, tennis, swimming. I loved sports days, but I never continued developing that passion into my older years. As soon as I hit university, all forms of exercise stopped. The only form of exercise I was doing was running for my bus. Fast forward to today, not to sound like I'm ungrateful for being in one piece, but there are times where my back plays up, I've got sore knees, I've got horrendous posture, which is why I say if I had invested in myself, in perhaps joining the gym a little bit earlier, going on walks, taking care of my health and well-being, I perhaps wouldn't be in this position today. Investing in your health is your ultimate wealth. If we aren't functioning to the best of our abilities today, then how are we going to focus on building our wealth? If we're doing more harm to our health, then what good is it to build our wealth? On that note, I started investing my surplus income at the age of 24. Prior to that, I was helping my parents pay down their family home. Now, helping my parents was definitely a beautiful thing, but if I had invested that money early on, I would be rolling around in cash right now. I could have just let compound interest do its thing, and as we all know, if you start early on, we can reap the rewards of compound interest in future years to come. Growing up in a cultural household, it's often tough to stand up for yourself and make financial decisions that benefit future you. But by standing up for future you, you're actually making wiser financial decisions then. Because this would mean that your compound interest, your investments in future years to come would be worth more, and they'll be able to value it more as well, given that they are older. It comes down to education at the end of the day. How much you know, how much you want to know, and how much you want to achieve for the longer term. If you've got a plan in place, then you're doing better than 99% of people around you. It's just a matter of making those around you believe that this is the best decision for yourself. 5, start reading earlier. You won't believe this, but I only started reading about 2 years ago. Prior to this, you would never see a book in my hand. Here's what I think the issue was. During high school years, we were always presented with books to read. However, these books were never my cup of tea. These were all topics that I wasn't interested in, therefore never had the passion to continue reading them, nor did I absorb the information that these books contained. However, now I've got the freedom to choose the books that I want to read, what I enjoy, and these are predominantly self-help, business, and a few romance and thriller books I like to enjoy from time to time. Had I realized the power of books, and not only non-fiction books, but fiction books as well, because fiction books allow us to explore a part of our mind that we otherwise don't get a chance to. Fiction gives us the freedom to ponder, to drift away from the realities of the world into a world where our problems don't matter. And self-help books, on the other hand, bring light to our problems, but also provide us with solutions on ways that we can better enjoy our lives and live a more fruitful life ahead. The knowledge, the experience, the comfort, the joy, and the strength that a good book provides is truly unmatched. So keep looking for that one book that will get you hooked. Mine personally were biographies. Remember, it's never too late to make positive changes. Embrace your passions, invest in personal growth, explore the world, nurture meaningful relationships, and prioritize your health and well-being. If you start today, you'll be amazed by the impact that it can have in just a short amount of time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.